Hey guys, in this tutorial we show you my Dxtory and Sony Vegas settings. The first thing we are gonna do is open up Dxtory and I'll just go to the target tab. Here as you can see there's nothing, so we'll just go over to the overlay tab, and in the overlay tab I just leave everything on default. Next is the folder tab. This is very important because in here you decide in which folder your Dxtory footage will go in. As you can see, I already have a folder selected, but I will show you how to add your own folder. Now, to add a folder, just press this button, Add Folder, and then the program will direct you to where you want to save your Dxtory footage. Now, I already have a predetermined folder where I want to save my footage. Now, this program has a benchmark which lets you see your writing speed on that current drive. Now, to do this, you just need to press this button and then press Run. Now, on the hotkey tab, I only use the start and stop movie capture button, which is in my case F10. You can change this to any other key, like for example F2 or F3, but I prefer to use F10. Now, the movie tab is very important. It lets you decide the frame rate you want to record your videos, the codec you want to use, and the percent or size you want to record your video at. Now, the first thing we see is the frame rate. I capture at 30 FPS. You can capture at lower FPS, but it will give you a less fluid motion, and YouTube only processes 30 FPS, so 30 is the best option. Now, the next thing is the codec. I use X264 VFW codec. It has a very good size to quality ratio, where the file size isn't very large in relation to the quality you are recording at. Now, to edit the settings of the codec, just press on this button. These are the settings I use for my recording. At the bottom part of this window, there is an option of adding extra command line. If you are going to edit your videos in Sony Vegas, I recommend using this because it lets Sony Vegas read the videos more easily. You just type keyint space 1, and that will make the videos much more easier for Sony Vegas to decode. Now, the last option in this tab is the resolution you want to record at. You can record in percent, and this will record 100%, the full size of your monitor, 75% or 50%. Or else you can go on size and determine what resolution you want to record at. Now, Dxtory has a built-in feature which lets you record at a different resolution from that which you are playing at. I have a 1080p monitor and I play at 1080p, but if you want to record, for example, in 720p, which is 1280 by 720, you can do that as well, but I just leave it on 1920 by 1080. Now, moving forward to the audio tab, I have two streams of audio. First is my sound, and the second one is my microphone. The quality I use is PCM at 44,000 Hz 16-bit stereo. Now, you can record at higher quality, but that just increases the size of your video, and that doesn't really make a difference because it doesn't sound much better. Now, moving forward to the screenshot tab, I do not use this, so I will just skip it. Now, on the advanced tab, I use permanent hook. This basically saves your footage from corrupting. Now, I use permanent hook, and the other thing I use is processing tabs. I put it on the maximum cores I have. Now, depending on your CPU, you might have 2 or more. Just select all the processing tabs you have. Now, the last tab is global tab. As you can see, I just leave everything on default and do not change anything. Now that we are in Sony Vegas, I will show you my render settings and the template I use to render my videos. Now, we'll just put a small video in the timeline, like this. Now, as you can see, I have two audio streams. First is my sound, and the second one is my microphone. First thing I do when I load in a clip is to right click on it, go on Properties, disable resample, and maintain aspect ratio. Now, when you disable maintain aspect ratio, you are basically telling the video to expand to the size that you are going to render. So just disable resample and remove maintain aspect ratio and press OK. Now, to show you my template, go to File, Properties. Now, as you can see, here are my settings. As previously stated, I render my videos in 1920 by 1080. The field order is none. Progressive scan. Pixel aspect ratio 1. Output rotation 0. Frame rate is 30. Stereoscopic 3D is off. Pixel format I use 32-bit floating point, full range. Gamma I use 1. Resolution quality at best. Motion blur Gaussian or something like that. And the interlace method is set to none. Now on the audio tab, I keep my bus mode on stereo, number of stereo buses 0, sample rate at 44,000, and bit depth 16. Resample and stretch quality is set at best. That is basically it, because the other tabs don't have anything on them. Press OK then. Now after you added the clip and you are satisfied with your video, go to File, Render As. Now there are multiple formats you can use to render your video. There is MP4, AVI, but the one I use is WMV. I have found that it has the best quality for YouTube. Now I already have a custom template for 1080p videos, but if you are going to create your first 1080p template, I would choose this one, 8 megabits HD 1080 30p video. Go on Customize Template. Now these are the settings I use. On the audio tab I choose CBR, Windows Media Audio 9.2. Attributes I lower it to 128 kilobits 44 kHz stereo. On the video tab I leave it on CBR. Format is Windows Media Video. The image size I change it from 1440 by 1080 to custom 1920 by 1080. Now make sure your pixel aspect ratio is set to 1 when rendering in 1920 by 1080. I changed the frame rate to 30 FPS. Now, and the video smoothness I changed it to 100. Now you can even use lower quality, like for example 80 or 90, but 100 will give you the sharpest and best quality for YouTube. Now on the bitrate tab, I specify that I want internet LAN and 8 megabits of bitrate. In the index summary tab, I leave everything on default. And on the project tab, I just change the video rendering quality to best. Then you can save it by changing the name of the template, for example 1080p, and press Save Template, then press OK, and the template saves for future videos, so you don't have to change the render settings every time you want to render a video. Now for the last step, we specify the name we want for the video, for example Battlefield 3 test video, and then press render. That's it for this tutorial. I'll leave you with links to previous videos so you can see the quality achieved with these settings. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for upcoming videos.